Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is October 10th, 2024 and Barcelona have two new signings that will be getting incorporated into Hansi Flick's staff. Also, great news in regards to Ronald Araujo's recovery. And finally, Barcelona are closely tracking a 21-year-old left back. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before I begin with the news, just a quick reminder to make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this helps the channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure to Goal Kits, Kickback, or Fanatics. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure to bet us. All links are down below in the description. Now begin with the news that the Royal Spanish Football Federation have decided to make a change to the format of the Spanish Super Cup. Now, Barcelona have qualified to this year's, or I should say this season's, Spanish Super Cup by finishing La Liga in second place. And Barcelona will be playing the semifinals of the Spanish Super Cup against Athletic Club de Bilbao, with Real Madrid playing the other semifinal against Mallorca. And both matches will take place in 2025 in Saudi Arabia. And now, ahead of those matches, the Royal Spanish Football Federation have announced a change to the competition, and that change is that there will be no extra halves during this competition, which means that if the match ends up in draw, it will go directly to penalty shootout. And this was in response to the club's complaints that there has been a lot of matches during this calendar, and as such, players have been accumulating a lot of playing time. So in response to that, the Royal Spanish Football Federation have decided to cancel the extra halves in the Spanish Super Cup in order to reduce the possible playing time for players. Now, more news because Barcelona have two new signings, and those new signings will be getting incorporated into Hansi Flick's staff. Now, these two additions to Hansi Flick's staff were per the request of the German coach, who asked Barcelona to do him this favor and sign these two new coaches, or two new assistant coaches. And given that Barcelona are so happy with Flick's work with the team, they agreed, and now Flick will have two new additions to his staff, is starting with this guy, Steven Nope, who is a football analyst. In fact, he worked for the 2014 World Cup winning Germany squad. He worked alongside Hansi Flick on that squad, and he was the person in charge of analyzing all of Germany's opponents during that World Cup in order, to analyze the strength of those opponents, the weaknesses, how to beat them, how to stop their attack, etc. And well, now Steven Nope will be joining Hansi Flick's staff as part of his analytical team. In fact, he's gonna head the analytical team, because before this, Flick did not have his own analyst. He was using the analysts from the club. So now Steven Nope will be an analyst to join Flick's team, Flick's own analyst, and will be heading all the analysts that Barcelona already had as part of the club. Now, as Steven Nope's right-hand man will be this other guy, Michael Husman. I hope I said that correctly, but this is someone who specializes in scouting and also analysis, so he will be working alongside of Steven Nope to analyze Barcelona's opponents. And Michael Husman is someone that Hansi Flick considers as a coaching prodigy. Flick thinks Michael Husman will become a great coach in the future, and while he has decided to incorporate him into his staff to help Hansi Flick with his coaching duties as the manager of FC Barcelona. Now, I have to say I'm very, very excited for these two new additions. As you know, Flick brought two people to his staff when he first joined. It was Heiko Westerman and also Marcus Sorg. And so far, Flick, alongside his staff, they've been doing a great job of managing the team. So the fact that now two more people will be added, you can only imagine how much better the coaching staff will be. And hopefully this will translate into more positive results on the field. Now, more good news because it's reported that Ronald Araujo is, ladies and gentlemen, doing absolutely great with his recovery. And in fact, they're saying that the Uruguayan defender is entering the final phase of his recovery. Now, as you know, Ronald Araujo suffered a hamstring injury in his right thigh during the Copa America. As a result, he underwent a surgery, and thank God that he did, because this is an injury that he had been suffering from for quite some time. He was constantly getting re-injured in this right thigh, and he finally decided to undergo surgery during the summer. So hopefully the surgery will permanently repair this injury and we won't see it resurface in the future. But since then, Ronald Araujo has been part of a long and arduous recovery. But now they're saying that Ronald Araujo is recovering very, very well. In fact, he is recovering ahead of schedule. And they're saying now that Ronald Araujo could be back in November. Now, initially it was thought that Ronald Araujo was not going to come back until next year after the winter transfer break. But he has been recovering at a much faster pace. And they're estimating that Araujo could be back against Celta Vigo, which will take place on November 23rd. So yes, we could see Ronald Araujo back in action next month. And if Ronald Araujo is not ready by the Celta Vigo match, they're saying that he will for sure be ready by the Champions League match against Brest. So this is, of course, great news, because despite everything that's going on with Araujo's renewal, there's no doubt that he's still one of the best defenders in Europe, and he will be a great addition to Flick's staff, especially since right now we don't really have a good substitution for Inigo and Pau Cubarsí, or a top rate substitution for Inigo and Pau Cubarsí. So it would definitely be great to have Ronald Araujo, whether as a starter or as a substitute. It's really good to count on the services of our Uruguayan captain. Now, speaking of defenders, we do have to talk about a left back that Barcelona are currently tracking very closely. And this left back is no other than Alvaro Carreras, a 21-year-old left back who currently plays at Benfica. In fact, he had his start at the Real Madrid Academy. Then he ended up at Manchester United. And after several loan spells, he ended up at Benfica, where he's currently having an absolutely great time, where he's had a breakthrough in the Portuguese league. And as such, it's reported that Barcelona are tracking and monitoring this player very closely, where Deco scouts have been spotted monitoring the player, collecting data, and also producing reports for the club, because it's reported that Alvaro Carreras is very much impressing Deco and all the scouting staff at FC Barcelona. Now, Alvaro Carreras is not, or I should say FC Barcelona is not the only club interested in Alvaro Carreras. It seems that Real Madrid and Manchester United, his two former clubs, are also interested in signing him. And in fact, it's reported that Manchester United do have a buyback clause option, which of course that does make it very difficult for Barcelona. Even more so when you consider that Benfica like to charge a premium for their players. So it's looking a little bit difficult that Barcelona could end up signing Alvaro Carreras, but just know that Barcelona, Deco, and his scouting staff are tracking this player very closely. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. We'll be uploading another video in a few moments, so stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.